Everyone, let's discuss set number 4, slot 1 CAT 2025. Let's read the information given in the set. A, B, C, D, and E played a game in which each asked a unique question to all the others and they respond by tapping their feet, either once or twice or thrice. So there are three possibilities. One can respond to the question that has been asked by other question by tapping once or tapping twice or tapping thrice. One tap means yes, two tap means no, and three taps means maybe. A total of 40 taps were heard across the five questions. So everybody asked one question, and in response to that question, other four people tapped, and total number of taps that were heard is 40. Each question received at least one yes, one no, and one maybe. Now that's interesting information. For example, suppose A asked a question, then the response that B, C, D, and E gave to that question has to have at least one yes will be there, one no will be there, and one maybe will be there. And then the further information is known. So I think before solving this set, we should try to make a proper structure so that I can, put all the information together. So what I'll do, I'll write five people, name of five people A, B, C, D, and E, column wise as well as row wise. So I think it's very important for us to represent the data in a meaningful form because that will help us to solve question effectively and efficiently. So this table will help us to put all the information at one place. At the last, I'll write total here and I'll also write total here. Now what does this indicate? This means taps received. And this means taps done. Like for example, when A answer question of B, C, D, E, then how many times she tapped or he tapped will come in this row wise, and column wise, like for A's question, what kind of response he received from B, C, D, E, that will be represented by column wise. And I will put crossover in front of A because A cannot answer to her or his own question. Same as B, C, D, and E. And total number of taps has to be equal to 40. This is clearly given over here. Now, yes means one tap, no means two tap, and maybe means three tap. And it says for every question, at least one yes, one no. So for every column, at least one, two, and one, three has to come. This has to be true for A, B, C, D, and E for every column because this indicates the tap received. Now let's read the further information of the set. Alia tapped a total of 6 times and received 9 taps to her question. So Alia tapped total 6 times. So row wise value has to be 6 and column wise value has to be 9. She responded yes to the question asked by both C and D. So when C and D asked questions, C responded yes. Yes means one tap. So these two values has to be 1. D and D tapped a total of 11 and 9 times respectively. So D tapped 11 times, E tapped 9 times. Now from this, I can say what could be the value of B plus C. So B plus C will become 40 minus 6 plus 11 plus 9. You calculate this, this will become 14. So B plus C together have done 14 taps. Dilshan responded no to Badal. No means 2 taps. So Dilshan to Badal is 2 taps. B, D, and E received equal number of taps to the respective question. So B, let us assume that B received X number of taps. Similarly, D will receive X and E will receive X number of taps. And let's assume this value has to be Y. So I can make a simple equation where say 9 plus 3x plus y will be equal to 40. So you can say 3x plus y is equal to 31. Now what could be the possible value of x and y? If we can figure out, that will make our question a little more solvable. So now what could be the minimum possible value of x? Now you know everyone got at least one tap, one yes, one no, and one maybe. So that has to be the minimum possible value of x has to cover 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. And if I want to take minimum, then fourth answer can be given by one tap, or in case of maximum, it can be given by three taps. So in this case, the minimum value of x and y has to be 7, and maximum it could reach to 9. So now let's take all the cases one by one. If I take x to be 7, so in that case, y will become 10. Now y cannot be 10 because the same logic. So this case is eliminated. So x cannot be 7. Can I take x to be 8? Yes. If you take x to be 8, then y will become 7. Feasible. If you take x to be 9, y will become 4. Not feasible. So the only feasible case for x and y is this, where x will become 8, y will become 7, this will become 8, and this will become 8. Cool. So now we know all the column-wise values. Let's go further. No one responded yes more than twice. Like A never responded more than twice by tapping one foot, which she has already done. So it means the other value cannot take value of 1. And this is going to be true for B, C, D, E. So in any of the row, we cannot have more than 2 values of 1. So in this case, if you look at Alia tapped 6 times, out of which one tap she responded to C and D. So these two values has to be equal to 4. Now 4 can either take 1 plus 3, 2 plus 2. Now you can't take 1, 3 because then again 1 will come thrice, which is not possible. So these two values has to be 2 and 2. So for Alia, now we know how many taps she responded to everyone's question. Now let's proceed further. No one's answer to Alia's question matched the answer that Alia gave. For example, Alia tapped twice to the question of B, then B cannot tap twice. Similarly, C cannot tap once, twice. Now same is true with E also. For E also, the value that E will tap will not match like this. So this is what we have to understand. And the last part is Clive. Clive tapped more times in total than Badal. Now we know B plus C is 14 and you're saying C is greater than B. Now if you analyze B plus C has to be 14, in that case C has to be greater than 7. So now either C can be 8. If C will take 8, B will become 6. And can I take C to be 9? I can't. Because row wise minimum possible summation has to be 6. Why? Because you can take at least 1. You can take 1 2 times. Similarly, you can take 2. So minimum possible value has to be 6. So there is only one possibility. C will tap 8 times and B will tap 6 times. So at least we know the sum of all the rows and sum all the columns. And based on this, we have to figure out. Now analyze in front of D. Summation like D taps 11 times, out of which he tapped twice to B, which essentially means all these 3 values has to be 3, 3, because if you want to make summation of all these 4 values to be 11, there is only one possible way to do it. So these, for D, we know how many taps he did. Now since D responded to E's question by tapping thrice, so E cannot respond by tapping thrice. So this value cannot be 3, right? Now for everyone, we have to take at least, for every column, we have to take 1, 1, 1, 2 and 1, 3. Now analyze. In front of B, this value cannot be 3. Why? Because summation is 6. 6 means you have to take 2, 1 and 2, 2. You can't take any 3 because no one can have 0 value. So this value has to be 1. Now here you can't have 2. Now to make 9, you have already made 3 plus 1. So what are you left is 5. 5 means 2 plus 3. Right, now you can't take 2 over here, so you have to take 3. And if you have taken 3 over here, then this value will become 2. So now for A also, we know how many taps she received from B, C, D and E. Great. Now can we proceed further? Let's try to see. Now in front of B, we have already taken 2, 2. And total sum is 8. And we have to take at least 1 and 1, 3. So yeah, here we have to take 1, 1 and 1, 3. right? Okay, here also we have already taken 4, so we have to take 1 1 and 1 2. Here we can't take 3 over here, and we also cannot take 3 over here. The reason is because this total is 6 and we have to take at least 1 3, so that has to come over here. So this value become 3. Now 1 and 3 has come, overall total is 8. So now we have to divide two values, their sum has to be 4, and we have to take at least 1 2 in this column also, so both the value become 2 and 2. So now we could figure out how many tabs D received for his question. Now let's proceed further. Now here you have 2 and 3. So in this row, the values that we have to take is 1 and 2, right? Again, now let's move a little further and try to understand. Now you know that D has responded tapping E2 thrice. That's fair enough. Now how we can proceed further? I have to take here also 1 3. Can I take 3 over here? I can't. I can't take 3 because this summation is 8. So I can only take 1 and 2. So this place you can't take 3. In that case, you have to take 3 over here because in every column you have to take at least 1 1, 1 2 and 1 3. So this place 1 will come. Now this is 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 6. Then this value will become 2. And 3, 3, 6, 2, 8. This value will become 1. This value will become 2. And this value will become 1. So now we know all the number of tabs and we can solve the question of this set. So let me just go to the question one by one. Let me erase this part of the question so that we can comfortably see all the question one by one. Let's look at the first question of this set. How many tabs did C receive for his question? C receives 7 tabs for his question. So for question number 15, answer has to be 7. Which two people tapped an equal number of times in total? A is tapping 6 times, B is tapping 6 times, rest of them are tapping different number of times. So for this question, A and B has to be the answer. What was Clive's response to E's question? Clive's response to E question was he tapped twice, which means no. So option number 4 is correct answer for this one. How many yes responses were received across all the questions? Yes means 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to count all ones. So for question number 18, answer has to be 6. That's it. Thank you.